10:04 p.m. Tuesday, November the 25th, 2014.
Now, I'm debating whether or not you should see the video because you will...
I'll probably go nuts. So, yeah, because that would just, I mean, it's so outrageous to me what you're describing that the thought of what they're doing is so unbelievable that I can't hardly stand it. I mean, really, there's no excuse for it. And I've seen the worst kind of behavior that, problems, not the most extreme cases, but I've seen terrible behavior in classrooms I've been in for 5 years. And, you know what? Whenever you start getting into fights with students like that, if you're trying to subdue them, that's one thing. And the whole goal of using physical force on a child that's having behavior problems is to subdue their behavior and stop it from occurring.
Actually, what court perspective said that was that toward being tortured, that is the definition of torture. You have to be completely defenseless. Child, that is torture. That's what the United Nations torture specialist said.
Yeah.
It is without a doubt torture.
I totally agree with that.
Even when he asked, is there any doubt at all about this? He said, no, there is no doubt. It is torture. If we did this and lost help and obey, the world would be outraged.
Yeah. That's really unbelievable to me.
So bad it gained the attention of the nation.
Oh. I stepped on those chips. Don't worry about them now. I don't like that heater. I'm still a little cold.
Alright.
Well, okay.
I was using the match.
Yeah.
I prefer using the match. They have a nice smell to them. Match do.
What do you think they ought to do about it, Jake?
Well, they've already tried. This is 2 years ago this happened.
Why do I smell dog shit? I must have walked through some. What an aroma. I think Fred was in Roland's front seat. Because the seat was pushed way back and the seat was tilted back so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think and I asked Roland, who's been sitting here? And he said, nobody.
Oh, that's that.
Well, when I sat in the vehicle this morning, the seat was straight up, and it wasn't pushed way back to the back of the car. So somebody was in it, and I'm guessing it was Fred.
Maybe it was Eva. Maybe he fucked her right there.
He's too big. I think we better start walking.
Okay, yeah.
He's lying to me. I mean, he sat there and lied to me bold-faced. And I know I got in the car this morning. I got the video of when I was in the car this morning. I can prove that the car seat wasn't pushed back like that.
Fred.
Because Fred has, how tall Fred is. That's why. I think it's probably Fred. So, somebody was in it, laying in the seat all the way back like that. And he just lies to me. He knows I know he's lying. It doesn't matter to him. There's no accountability. I might just have a piece of chicken.
Oh, sure.
See, when you paddle a child, actually give a child it's called operant conditioning. There's ways that you can condition people or animals. It's behavior therapy techniques.
Keep in mind, children are autistic.
Yeah. If you use classical conditioning, like Pavlov's dog, first the stimulus is you put the bowl of food out, the dog comes eat it. The stimulus is the bowl of food. The response is the dog salivating when he hears the bell. It makes him think of the bowl of food.
The one with orange? Remember that guy?
Right.
One, two, that's how we really wanted to rape something.
Right. Operant conditioning is when the behavior occurs first. and the stimulus comes afterwards.
I mean, for the behavior is asking to go to the restroom, having tick-like body movements, screaming out and begging to stop whenever you're being shot.
Right. You can actually condition somebody to respond to emit a certain behavior if you reinforce it. Jake, I took psychology classes, I took educational psych, all kinds. I mean, I had enough to get a minor, and or close to it, or could have, but I took lab classes and stuff like that. And there have been so many experts in behavior modification. There are things that they do. There are all kinds of these techniques that are used that are very effective in behavior management without inflicting physical harm on somebody.
Well, would they say that it was a scientific theory, electroshock therapy?
It is for medical reasons. It was used in the past for medical reasons. Back then, the medical technology did not exist to produce the same results. But what I remember from my college psychology classes was that with the development of technology and research into behavior management, not behavior management, but those brain disorders like bipolar disorder, stuff like that, there were more effective medications and treatment plans and behavior management techniques and stuff that were all designed that were more effective than electroshock therapy. I remember we had that discussion in my class, and the professor saying that it was no longer used or recommended by psychologists for behavior therapy or for, medical treatment. It wasn't used for behavior management. It was used for the brain dysfunction, but the people who were given the treatment very often had behavior problems. But they also had serious, illnesses that, it was obsolete treatment. And that was back before I graduated from college in '92, so I don't see why anybody would still be doing it. Just using it for behavior modification alone, that's a no-brainer. There's no justification for that. I just cannot imagine a doctor even thinking that that was okay, or a psychologist, anybody with any type of clinical license and state license sitting back thinking that that's okay to do to a kid. It's not. There's no way that's justifiable. I mean, they're saying that it's still an okay treatment today.
I don't know about today, but any questions were, how is that still legal? That's what many people were asking whenever they heard about the case.
They used to perform frontal lobe lobotomies.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
When people would just get your frontal lobe is right behind your forehead, and just reach in there with a knife and cut it.
They felt
Take a little piece out, no?
What did it do to them?
Make you stand in the corner like this.
Yeah.
Without any real ability to think. Just be diapered and have somebody sit and feed you baby food while you sit in the corner and drool till you die. There's a movie Jack Nicholson did. It's called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There's actually a book too, and the movie was based on the book. And Jack Nicholson plays this guy that gets thrown into the loony bin. He makes friends with this guy. He's an Indian. And Nurse Ratched is the head nurse in their psychiatric ward.
I'm thinking about something similar to that. Did they jump out of the window to escape?
They did escape.
They jumped out of the window?
They went on a field trip or something.
Oh, I thought they jumped out the window. I'm thinking
They might have jumped out a window.
I remember seeing a black guy in a mental institution jump out a window in the movie.
His friend Indian, I think his Indian friend got a lobotomy. I think they finally gave him one too. Or did he escape? How did it end? Anyway, it was crazy is what it was. Absolute insanity. To do that to people, that's all I can say, Jake. But those people, that school should have been shut down. It should have been burned to the ground. For the horrors that went on there. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment building. He did such terrible things there. People died there. Terrible ways. They tore it down. They bulldozed it. Then, you know, people were died there. They were victimized there. You know, and that's the same thing I think about what those people did to those kids there.
Well, they tried shutting down that center, but the overwhelming support of the parents and the fact that they bring in over $912 million a year.
From what, the government?
They bring that
into the industry or into the state?
They bring in profit, but the actual cost per student is $200,000 per year per student.
Oh, it's all coming out of taxpayers. Yeah. Close it down.
$200,000.
Do you know what kind of treatment you could buy a child for $200,000 a year in the private sector?
How much?
The very best behavior modification specialist in the world that would never lay a hand on that child. That is nothing but a slop bucket for a bunch of bureaucrats and assholes getting a paycheck for free at the expense of those children. That's what I think of that. $200,000 per student, that's outrageous. And they're shocking them too. Oh my God, I can't believe that.
If you go on their website, there's a video that says out or have this rewards program and how parents are free to come in any time and check their progress, how they're monitored 24/7, how it's a positively reinforced environment, how they can earn rewards, and by doing their schoolwork they can accumulate real world cash and stuff.
Really?
How a couple of students had a college or were working on a college degree there and all this shit. They were trying to, because this is actually what the guy said to the jury, or in court said, you see this video of this kid screaming while he's tied down? There's no way to sugarcoat this. You can try, but you can't sugarcoat this. The evidence is there. That's what he said. And they were trying to sugarcoat it, actually. They were saying how, well, some of the extreme behaviors call for extreme measures. So.
There's no excuse for it. Really, I can't believe that. It sounds like a slush fund to me. It just sounds like a giant sucking sound in the state treasury and the federal government too.
How much is the school system? How much do they get paid? Like $50,000 a year for a first student in the public school system?
For special ed students, they get $3,000 a year.
Okay, yeah. And for that center, they get getting $200,000 per student. $200,000.
They get $3,000 added to their budget for every special ed student.
Wow.
So, you know.
That cat. Why's cat here?
She wants to come in here.
I know. Different shit.
Maybe she's cold. Maybe she's lonely. I don't know. Maybe she just wants to see what we're doing. You know, cats are very curious. Hi, Cat. Come on in.
Hi, Cat. Hi.
I checked her food and water. She's got plenty of food and water. And,
It's really, Doc, when the video of it starts, you really don't think it's that bad until first you hear him screaming, no, please no, and then you just hear the continuous screaming coming from him at the top of his lungs while he's tied down with that helmet on him.
and they did that to him for 7 hours.
7 hours straight.
Yeah. And they should be doing life in prison for that. I mean, and that would be very generous. I'd shoot those people in the forehead for doing shit like that. I'd bait their asses till they couldn't stand up. That's unbelievable. You do that to a child. At $200,000 a year, they don't know how to pick up a phone and call the best behavior experts in the world and find out what to do. Really?
It is currently the only center in America that uses shock therapy.
It needs to be shut down. The president should have done that.
Yeah, issue an executive order.
Oh, yeah. He could send the child welfare people after them. He could send the Department of Justice after them.
Well, technically, since it's, well, I mean, the United Nations was getting involved. I don't even think the president even heard about it, but the United Nations was getting involved about it and hooking down the Obama administration and do something about it. But
well, he doesn't know how to figure that out in 5 minutes as a president, and he damn sure shouldn't be the president. I wouldn't give a fuck what anybody had to say about it. I'd pick up the phone and tell them to go shut the damn shithole down and get those kids out of there as soon as you can.
Since it's a human rights violation, can't they technically send the National Guard into the building, surround the building with the National Guard?
Yeah.
Because when it comes to human rights violations, they can call in the Marines to right that building with full combat gear.
And they would. They would in any other situation, but this is the United States, and we've made this appear to be legal.
Yeah.
It's not legal.
Yeah, well, I think that there wasn't enough publicity around it. There was a lot of publicity. It was all over. It was on YouTube, and a good almost 1 million people heard about it. A couple 100,000, but if it was if most of the country heard about it, oh my God, there would be in so much outrage.
Yeah, they need to put that on CNN. Interesting.
No, it was on CNN.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. What? The center requested that the judge or CNN's camera to be barred from doing the tape.
Really?
But the judge allowed them to do the tape.
Really?
And it was on news.
Hi, Cat.
Oh, I'd have closed them down, and I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I'd have shut that place down. I'd have shut it down. Oh, my God, I'd have shut it down. I'm sure they removed all the people who said they were guilty. Or who they said they probably fired the people that were actually responsible for doing it, but I think any adult...
Oh, it was the entire staff that did it.
Yeah. They should have all been arrested.
The CEO even authorized it. They admitted to doing it. They didn't deny they didn't deny it, but they got super low tier, super small, super a lot less powerful ones. It says, well, these are the exact most beautiful students. Here you can try it out. And they weren't even showing you the real thing. And the fake ones, that the CNN lady said that
Right.
it was very painful. She hoped it was over soon.
Really?
And she was only shocked for a minute with the super low cheater one. The one that's supposed to be like absolutely nothing. And they're being shocked with 10 times the amount of the stun gun.
That sounds good. 10 times the power of a stun gun.
No, about the police stun gun.
Police use stun guns that are more powerful than what people are allowed to carry on the street.
Hi, cat. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Cat. Cat.
I mean, I remember sitting in an auditorium at Captain Street, and a cop came in there, and he did a little, 2 cops came in there, and they did this, talking about police, activities and stuff like that, and said that they had tasers that could shoot you that you couldn't buy as a citizen without a badge, that couldn't be issued to anybody except the police department, because they're not legal for civilians to own.
Well, it's 10 times more powerful than a police stun gun.
How could that ever be okay? Have you ever seen anybody get shot on YouTube by a police stun gun?
No.
They get shot by that, they fall to the ground, and they just sit there and writhe on the ground with involuntary muscle spasms and jerking their body around and everything.
Yeah, they'll usually pass out or something. But for these, it's, oh god. They place the metal electrodes
Right.
on the skin, on their arms, on their legs, and on their torso. Like on the torso, where like the heart is,
Mm-hmm.
that area. There are actually a couple of deaths about it. Several students died at the center, or killed because of the brutality of it. So.
Really. I can't imagine how anybody in their right mind could think something like that was alright. I just don't understand that. I think people know that it's wrong. It's one of those situations, it sounds like to me, where everybody knows it's wrong, but nobody wants to do anything about it because of the status quo, the powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
The people who have control of it are the people who have the bulk of authority over the rest of the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
It's approved by the state. They receive funding from the state. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
they're in control and this is what they're doing and that's the way it is.
I read a story about this survivor, this girl. She was, while she was being tied down and shot, like one of the staff members whispered to her, trying to comfort her, but she had to be really careful about it because
Mhm.
there was no comforting allowed at all.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Hey, I'm gonna put this back in here. Oh, you want that one? I was gonna put it
Oh
in
wait,
here.
no, I'm good. Well, I might get this again.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to eat it, that's fine.
No, yeah, I'll eat it.
Okay. Well,
What? Oh, let me taste this.
a little greasy, don't you think?
This. Not like that.
That's uncanny to me. I just, stuff like this happens in the United States, and there was another place in Virginia that was shut down that was famous for the same kind of bullshit. It was called the Training Center. And it was in, the Central Virginia Training Center, somewhere around where I went to college. And, I knew a girl that went there, and, they shut it down, but there was a story on the news, or there was a news show or something about patients being raped there, and all those kinds of abuses, and physical abuse, and all that kind of stuff. And, they shut it down. It was shut down by the state.
Isn't that shit that happened to prisons?
Yeah, and prisons have been reformed. San Quentin prison in California is a notorious prison. It used to be unbelievably violent, and now it is a model prison for the whole United States. But it used to be just full of all kinds of murder and violence all the
How was it
time.
a model prison?
Well, because there were too many damn people getting killed in it.
Okay, do.
The prisoners were killing each other, and that's what they did, is went in and reformed it.
Semi-reformed. Changed it, remodeled it.
Yeah, they went in and fired all the warden and everybody that worked there, and went in with the guys that know how to run prisons and redid it. The prison is a model prison now. They changed the way they manage behavior and everything. That was very